So, Mojang released a new snapshot, and we're just going to quickly look over everything. This is the second time I've attempted to record, because my recording software really sucks when trying to open up new windows. So, yeah. We got quite a few new blocks and stuff introduced. We got the whole mangrove group. And even a new kind of thing. I'm guessing it's like the leaves. Actually, wait. Is there mangrove leaves? Yeah, there is. Okay, so the mangrove leaves seem to be very similar to the mangrove roots, which is pretty good because you could do some really cool like theme stuff with this, considering they are very similar to each other. And so we also have the muddy mangrove roots too, which is just this plus this equals this, and then further beyond that we have the packed mud and then the mud bricks. So pretty good new blocks. Just now unlock the crafting recipe for chest. We also have the mangrove sapling, which looks pretty good. It's the first sapling that you can actually plant underwater. It doesn't fully work right now, so we can't really see what the full tree looks like without looking at the snapshot, without looking at the original video where it was announced. We also have most of the things from last snapshot. There's also the frogs, and the fog lights. So we have the fog. This is the normal kind that you'll probably see most often. There is a biome. What's it called? Biome. I don't know. Taiga. Snowy Taiga. TP me. Gotta wait for the load. This is the not the white horizon. Hello, you should be spawning green. Ah, this might work. It's not working. Do I need to slap someone? No. Okay. So, normally, apparently it doesn't work with the spawn egg. These would be green frogs. But they're not. And then if in your desert you see a white frog, it's basically just a different color. Now we have frog ice mountain. They can jump pretty high. I think it's just like a random time they sometimes jump when they see something they can jump on. They have a pretty cool swimming animation. So yeah, they have an there's them croaking too. All of these sound effects that are going on. Yeah, there's the walk. All the sound effects going on happen when they croak. They can eat small slimes, which causes a slime ball, and they can also eat small magma cubes. And depending on which frog you use, you can get this one, I think for the desert. This one for the. Where's that now? I'm guessing for the cold one, because the cold one's green. And the pearlescent one, I'm guessing, is for the normal one. Why didn't they keep melting? Like it's light level kind of stuff. And I think they're also somewhat directional, but very small differences. But they do look really good. We also have the frog spawn, which can only be placed on water. And the tadpoles would hatch from that. there's also, you have the bucket of tadpoles grow up to become frogs, and you can spawn them in, or you can breed the frogs using, I think it's slime balls. These are what they look like. These are where, when these grow up, in a cold biome, for instance, they would become the green. So this is how you would, and you can also put them in a bucket. Tadpoles also do the fish thing where they die after being out of water for too long. So there is a new setting that I don't know what it does, but there's a new directional setting where you need certain hardware in order to actually, for it to make any difference. So, there's also some technical changes where data pack format is now 10, resource pack is now 9. Don't really know what that means. Adds a server property, there's some blending stuff. Spice, graph provider, pack filters, world presets, and a bunch of fixed bugs. That's pretty much all of the features that are in it. Like all the major ones. And I'm gonna see what kind of stuff we can make out of these new blocks and things. These are all of the mud varieties. You got quite a few. The way that you would obtain this is by using a water bottle on dirt, which gives a new use to water bottles, which is always a good thing. Got the mud block. Let me lay these out. So you have the mud block, the muddy mangrove roots, mud brick slab, packed mud, mud bricks, mud brick stairs, mud brick wall. The normal stuff. And then you have and then the next category, I guess, would be the mangrove. And of course you have all of the normal wood things. And some stuff that is special for the mangrove. I don't actually need that one. Let's put a slab. So you have the mangrove planks. This, which I need a grass block in order to place on the sapling. You have the log. You have the fruits, the stripped version of the log, the stripped wood, the normal wood, the leaves, and the slab. And then you have the fence, stair, button, pressure plate, door, trapdoor, fence gate, boat, and sign. That tree just grew. As you can see, it just turns into an oak tree, but, yeah. Okay, it just turns into an oak tree because they don't have it fully implemented, and so they just did the oak tree. And I'll lay these out too. Got the button. pressure plate. You got the door. I'm just gonna lay these down here. Pressure plate, door, trap door, fence gate, boat, and sign. This is the first boat added in actually a little while. This is the first boat added since Dark Oak, because Crimson and Warped don't have a boat, which is an interesting thing. We got the skulk stuff, which is surprisingly difficult to spell. These are actually added in this. They weren't in the game before, because the last one was just an experimental snapshot. And that's all the new blocks. There is, of course, okay, biome, deep dark. There is the deep dark in the game, and we'll check that out. Within reasonable distance. How about unreasonable distance? Okay, it's having a little bit of trouble finding one, because maybe they're rare. I don't really know how rare they are. Minus that. There we go. And so these are all the new blocks to work with. The most being mangrove stuff, with the least being the shulk stuff. And I guess there is the fog spawn and the fog lights. Actually, I forgot to put those in. These were in the Bedrock beta, but have never been a Java edition. I need a thing of water. This is the kind of stuff that I would do before recording, but I forget to. So, this is what we have to work with. And it is quite a lot that you can do some stuff with. Of course, with the new type of wood, that means that people are immediately going to try and find cool uses for it. Because the door and the trapdoor look really good. Because one thing Exuma Boy pointed out in his video, which you can check out, which is probably better than mine, is that it makes a cool, like, peephole. You can do some cool stuff with that. The button also has the same pulse as a Dark Oak button. So, if you're ever curious about whetstone stuff, just use the Dark Oak. Just realize that the underneath of this texture is kind of interesting. Actually, I'm not curious. What is the underneath of... We can now... Let's check out some of the underneath textures for some of these. Let's do glass. Oh, come on. Can't I do something for 5 minutes? That's what the underneath of the skull... That's not what the underneath of the skull looks like. I forgot to put it on. Underneath of the skull is just the top of the skull, pretty much. Oh, you're fucking kidding me. What fog. Put the water there, put glass. Got frog spawn. The underneath of it is just that. It's just the top texture. Underneath of some of these would be very, very good, like that one, but it's really just like the flowers where they don't really have an underneath texture. Probably underneath of all of these is going to be the same as the top. So, you don't really need to look for those. Underneath of these, again, probably just the same as the top. But with the skulk one, it has actually, I didn't check this out during this, but the underneath of some of these, like this one, the skulk catalyst, I thought this was the shriek, no, the shriek. The skulk catalyst actually is probably the coolest one. But the skulk and the skulk shrieker shares the same. Except one pulses, one doesn't. This one doesn't pulse, but this one does. It goes lighter, I mean. So, yeah. That's pretty much all. I was going to try and build some stuff with this, but this video is already 11 minutes. And that's all I really wanted to do. I mean, I wanted to build stuff with them, but you probably already clicked off the video. Wow, huh.